What's going on? This is the day before New Year's Eve, and start working on the Lexus RX 300 transmission removal today. I was going to pull it out the top, but then I realized that Lexus, for some reason, welded the battery tray and this bracket that holds the airbox. They welded it onto the frame. And then I thought, well, maybe I can cut it off, get it welded back on, but then I thought, no. They put that on there so you won't be able to pull the motor and transmission out together. So, only thing left is to go out the bottom. So I started removing stuff. I took the starter out, which starter goes right here. You got two bolts here, and you got a couple of bell housing bolts. There's one right there where this shock, motor mount shock is. There's one up under here where my finger is. You probably can't see it. It's up under this pipe, but it was already missing. And there's two back there. You might see one of them that's already out. But there's another one. Yeah, the other one's over the top. I left it in. And there's a couple more at the bottom. But I left that one in. And I left, oh yeah, there's one right here. I left those two in because when I take all of them loose, I have something to hold the transmission when I drop the frame. But I unhooked all the sensors, your shift cable, which is right here. It's got a 12 millimeter nut on it, and put this back up on there. This is going to support the engine. Right now it's just on there, but it goes to that bracket down there, and it's two bolts, those two stubs sticking out, or three, that holds that bracket. And you undo your transmission hoses. I got them capped off so fluid won't be constantly running out. Even though I drained the transmission, this transmission has a drain plug. That's one thing about your imports. They put drain plugs on them. And got some sensors down there. And I removed the windshield wiper assembly. I did it because I thought I was going to be able to pull the motor out the top, but I just left it off anyway because you got more light going down in there. You got more room to get over in there and, you know, see what you're doing. If you need to, I don't know, if you're going to lift the engine up high, you don't have to worry about it sticking out. Wish there was a strut bar that bolted from each strut tower. There's one right there. I took it out to have more clearance because I'm going to lift this motor up with the transmission out of the mounts on the frame. I'm going to lift it up an inch or two. That way when I get ready to go back in the frame, I won't have to jack up the frame and the engine. The frame can go up and still have some free play. But I started taking the front end apart. So we got the spindle off, which this is cool because it's got the ball joint, lower ball joint that got studs in it, and it's got these lug nut looking nuts. There's the spindle. Take the axle. I gotta pull the axle out. I'm not, ooh, that one needs an axle. Well, the boot. Look at that. Didn't see that. Something I gotta address, customer. looking at the other transmission, they popped out one axle completely, and then the other axle, half of it is in there with the, they cut the axle, and the Allen head bolts with the flange is still in there. So I'm going to see will that whole thing come out, or do you have to take those Allen bolts loose? If anybody know how to get that out of there, you can leave a comment and let me know. The way it looks on the other transmission is just a hole on one side, like they pulled the whole thing out. I looked in there, there's splines. Let's go take a look. There's splines back there, but on this side they just cut the axle. But anyway, I got this side stripped down. I got to go to the other side, take the spindle off, take your towel rod end off, your stabilizer bar link or sway bar link, and I got the I took the ABS sensor and the brake caliper and got them hanging up there. The reason why I like taking these spindles off, because it takes up the weight on your frame. So when you got it on your jacks, if you're doing it without a lift like I am, you got two jacks holding your frame up, it keeps your frame where it won't be off balance. Because those spindles with the disc and caliper bracket, that stuff is a lot of weight, and I have had them tip over, and this makes the frame a lot lighter to move around. But here's all the parts. There's your windshield wiper assembly. It's got a couple 10mm bolts. There's a starter. That cover snaps on, and you take your windshield wiper arms off. I always mark on the windshield where the wipers were sitting, so when I put the windshield wiper arms back on, I know right where they're supposed to be sitting, so they won't be out of sync. And when you turn them on, they go all the way over the side of the pillar and scratch your paint. But anyway, it's good to have this engine holder. I picked this one up off of eBay years ago, about $60. It works out good. It has this bar here that you're supposed to put on there, and there's a round pipe. I don't know where it's at, but it's supposed to stabilize it so it won't turn over, which I'm going to probably put it on there. I always like to get this set up before I jack it up. And I got a chain around the manifold and a chain on the rear engine hook. I don't like doing it this way. I would rather pull the motor and transmission out, set it on the ground, split it, put it back in. But with this issue here, with this plate welded on the car and this bracket here, I don't have a choice, because there's not really no clearance to get it out of there. You have to damn near pick the motor and transmission up straight up and down and tilt it out of there and wiggle it, and you know, it's just too much work. So I'm just gonna do it the way it's supposed to be done, is drop the frame. But anyway, that's just an update on the RX 300. And once I get the frame down or get ready to pull the frame, I'll do another video, and we'll go from there. Alright, well, Happy New Year to y'all. If I don't do a video before this year ends, and I'll keep in touch.